Love you, Esther, or Abraham, tell Esther.
We look so much the same.
Yes.
Those who know Esther do know the difference, however.
I am very clear of the difference. It's very clear. And I do love and appreciate Esther.
Yeah.
For
As do we.
Yes. So there is some theme to this, but you've said before that every thought that's ever been thought still exists.
Yeah. Because everything is a state of becoming, and every relationship is eternal, and every vibration is vibrating, and because of law of attraction, every vibration is expanding. Nothing ceases to be.
Yeah, yes. And when I hear that, then I think about that in the manifested.
When we say there's no regression, which means you can't fall back from the furthest place that you've expanded to, that's true of every vibration. No vibration ever becomes less. Every vibration continues to become more, which only serves to create this more perfect environment of potential from which to choose. That's why you want to be a deliberate creator, able to focus your thoughts in the direction that you want, so that you can choose from this plethora of possibilities that which your inner being is in agreement with, which is the positive energy of all of it.
Okay, and that's where I was next.
Yeah.
So my inner being hears, resonates with, knows my pure positive desire.
And only that. When you focus upon what you don't want, your inner being does not, because every subject is two subjects. There's two ends of the stick. So when you focus upon what you don't want, there's another end of the stick that lights up, which is where your inner being gives attention.
Yeah, so that's the part. So inner being source is only pure positive desire.
Doesn't have access to any vibrational frequency that is less than what it is.
Okay, that deviates.
So when you give birth to a desire that resonates with your inner being, that's where your inner being is, and your inner being never looks back. So your inner being never spends any time justifying your desire.
So every thought that's ever been thought still exists, and this is
but that doesn't mean inner beings are thinking them.
Oh, okay. So
because you know, a thought thinks itself.
Yeah, how
a thought
does that?
And a vibration and a frequency and an energy, these are all similar words. But when humans think of thoughts, you think of thinkers. So then you think, well, who's thinking these thoughts? And those negative thoughts are being thought and perpetuated by humans who are still in that I know what I don't want phase.
Part of in your teachings is as I withdraw attention.
By giving your attention to something
else. So I'm distracted.
Because no one can withdraw attention, because you can't cease to think. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about that thing I'm thinking about. I'm not going to think about that thing I'm thinking about. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about it. The whole time you're not thinking about that thing you're not thinking about, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But you're not thinking about it, but you're not thinking about it. You're thinking about it, but you're not, you don't think you're thinking about it, but you're thinking about it, because you can't stop thinking about it. As long as you're focused on it, you're thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I can distract myself and with shift attention, activate a different vibration.
It's interesting, even the word distraction, feel how distraction means not thinking about that. Where attraction or attention, so rather than distraction, I want to give my attention. Now we're talking about all those thinking things. Let's just switch it up just a little bit, and instead of thinking about what we're thinking about, let's start thinking about what we're feeling. So if you let the distraction be, I want to feel good, I want to feel good, I want to feel good, it's an easier switch, because your inner being is thinking about what you want to think about. And it doesn't take very much of you thinking about how good it would feel to think about what you want to think about, to hook in to what your inner being's thinking about, and then you're off and running.
Yeah. So there's something there, that knowing, that intention, that wanted, and it's feeling my way into that feeling.
There's two sides to every equation. There's unwanted and wanted. And every time a subject comes up, it really is like a long stick with both ends on it. And when you step into a situation, you're somewhere along the spectrum of that stick, from all the way not wanted to all the way wanted and something in between. So when you hold knowledge that this is just a vibration, like a musical scale almost, and that you could pick any note that you want to, and that your inner being has already picked the note, and you just think about what that note sounds like or what that note feels like, then instead of sorting it out any further, if you understand that you've already sorted it out and you've already launched the rocket and your inner being has already got hold of it, and now your work is simple, just feel your way to it, then before you know it, you're in alignment with your inner being, and the progression of that positive thought then starts flowing into your mind. That's why we call it the receiving mode. For a while we were saying to you, so you've created this vortex, and now you got to get in it. You got to get in there. And you didn't really like the idea of that. We wrote 2 books about it, trying to convince you that if you would just get in there, that you'd feel so much better. But it felt odd to you. How do I get into something I can't even see? We said, feel your way in. Oh, thanks a lot, Abraham. That's really helpful. But we wanted you to understand the concept of it. And so then we came to helping you to realize that there's a vibrational frequency there that is full of ideas and full of a path to everything you want, full of impulses and ideas and paths and rendezvous and the exhilaration of life, that anything you want can manifest right before your eyes with you right in on every step of it, which is just the way you like it. But that you've got to be in the receiving mode, which means you've got to be in the vibrational vicinity of what's in your vortex, which means since your vortex is a very high frequency because there's no resistance within it, you've got to allow your own vibration to rise. And when you do, then what's in your vortex flows into your mind, ideas and impulses. And once you get into that mode where an idea flows and you follow it and you see the payoff, so you understand that what you did was you quieted your mind enough that you allowed your vibration to rise, because when you were not perpetuating a lower vibration, then a higher vibration just took over, because that's what's natural. Just like when you let go of the cork, it will float. When you let go of your vibration, it will rise. And then when you start receiving ideas, then you understand, that's the receiving mode. That's what it feels like to be in the receiving mode of my vortex. That's what it feels like to be in such concert with my inner being that in snatches of time I know what my inner being knows. That's really what Esther demonstrates when she allows us to flow through her. She's demonstrating the receiving mode of being in such perfect sync with the vibration of Abraham that what we know in the moment of our knowing is her knowing. And it's so complete that she can find words that are as perfect as her vocabulary will allow them, and sequence of words that will convey to you what we mean.